channel. My name is Ash and I'm here with a review for Smurfs Kart on Xbox. Now this released onto the store on the 22nd of the 8th, 2023. It's developed by Eden Games and published by Microids, and it's priced at $24.99. Now, if you haven't guessed it from the name of this game, it's a Smurfs based kart racing game. So imagine Mario Kart meets the Smurfs. If you don't know who the Smurfs are, they're little blue people, live in a wood, and are always trying to get away from like an evil sorcerer guy and his cat. It's a classic sort of comic, I believe, that eventually became a very, very popular like kids cartoon back in the day, and has now spawned a load of like Hollywood movies around it. And I think they've even started doing like a Netflix animated series as well. So yeah, this is a kart game based on this kid's property. It features all the sort of main Smurfs. There are 12 different Smurfs to play from. Each one of them has their own kart and their own sort of special ability. So you'll eventually pick one up if you're sort of flagging behind, and these abilities will sort of push you back to the front of the race. Now, this is a kart racing game, so expect lots of sort of wacky and wonderful abilities that you'll find in like presents that you pick up on the tracks. Some of them are boosts, some of them are like attacks, some of them are like shields and defense items. Some you drop on the floor, they're like I want to say like conker shells, so they're spiky, and there's all sorts. Like I say, they're a bit more bland than Mario Kart's sort of over-the-top abilities. Like one of them is like playing a flute and putting people to sleep and stuff like that. So they kind of fit in with the Smurfs sort of environments and what they would probably use, but it does sort of make everything a bit more grounded in terms of what's on offer here. Now, there's 12 different tracks in this game from all the Smurf sort of universe. You've got villages, you've got like little sandy beaches, you've got like the forests, you've got Gargamel's house, swamps, all sorts of stuff like that. I thought they were quite detailed, they look quite nice, colourful, bright. The characters all look decent, although some of the karts, although they are varied, they all look pretty similar because they're all sort of like, they look handmade out of like bits of tree and stuff like that, so there's not a huge variation between them, but it is what it is. Now, in terms of gameplay, there's solo or multiplayer. It only has local up to 4-player split screen. There isn't any online play, and there's basically like time trial, which is obvious. There's sort of single race, and then there's like Grand Prix, which is like 4 tracks in a row. Now, the problem with this is there's a lack of content. So there's 3 Grand Prix, 4 races in each. Once you've done that, you could do them all in mirrored mode, which just flips the track. But other than that, there's not really any reason to go back and redo it. You can do the time challenge mode, which is basically beating each Smurf on their own track. So each Smurf has a track that's potentially theirs. But even then, there's not much to do. Like, you unlock stickers for completing certain things in the game, like doing so much of this, doing that, maybe like being airborne for 30 seconds, all that sort of stuff. But they don't really add to anything bar some of the achievements. And a lot of the achievements are linked to specific characters as well, so it's like do something so many times with like Papa Smurf and stuff like that. Overall, it's not the worst kart racing game. I've played some dud kart racing games that are beyond boring, not super enjoyable, they're a bit naff, they handle like crap. And this one doesn't handle bad. Like, the drifting's good, the jumps in there alright. The tracks are wide enough that you can like drift a lot without worrying. However, there are some sections on some of the tracks where there's obstacles to avoid and like places to fall and stuff like that. There's also like breakable boxes and hedges and sandcastles that could yield these like berries, and you can basically collect the berries. These berries sort of, they remind me of the Mario Kart on the Game Boy Advance, where you could collect up to 10 of them at once, and they sort of made you feel like you were going faster. That's what they basically do on this. They don't really add anything to the game. You can't spend them on anything either, which is odd. But it is what it is. Like, you can break boxes, you might get something in them. You can have two weapons at the same time. You can't switch them around though. You have to use them in the order you're given them. And that's about it. Like, it does the job. The background music is a bit repetitive to the point that it's annoying. I'd maybe play it with like Spotify on or something like that. And none of the characters have like any voice acting, which is a big downer. Like, this is the problem I had with the old Nickelodeon kart races. They felt very hollow and empty without the actual characters talking, whereas they've improved that in later iterations of the game. This one suffers the same issues, and like just a lack of content. Like, yes, there's 12 tracks, but they're all like, basically once you've played each of the Grand Prix, all of them are unlocked. There's no secret tracks, there's no secret races or anything like that I could find. There's just a lack of things to do. Like, definitely, if you've got kids and they like Smurfs, pick this one up. There's different difficulties. It's never too much of a challenge, but little kids might enjoy a little bit of a challenge. There's also like accessibility options with like auto accelerate and auto steering, which come in handy for younger players who may not be that great at taking the corners and stuff, so they can still feel like they're playing, but it kind of guides the characters and the cars through the tracks a bit easier for them. But there's no online to give it a bit of longevity. There's not a lot of content outside of the 3 Grand Prix and maybe doing them mirrored. Yes, some of the tracks are varied, but some of them are pretty similar. So all in all, it's an okay kart racing game. I just feel like there's better out there at a cheaper price as well. So this is $24.99 on Xbox. It's playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S. It is also optimized for Series X and S consoles with 120 FPS and 4K resolution. Like I say, it handles and played fine. It's just, I don't know, it just feels a little bit lacking substance and style. So yeah, grab it in a sale. It's not the hardest for the achievements, a bit grindy, but very doable. Not the worst kart racing game out there, but by no means anywhere near the best. But anyway, guys, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below. What do you think of this game? Are there any other kart racing games you'd like to see us cover? I do have DreamWorks' new kart racing game that I will be doing a review of very soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And until next time, guys, bye for now.